And we are back for the final. And that hand is fine. Yeah, pretty much perfect. All the lands, the turn to Rimvol, Acolyte into Winnower, that sounds pretty good. And my opponent seems to be there this time, which was certainly not the case last time. So from what I've seen from the match he or she played, it seems that they have a very slow deck, or maybe the opponent had a very slow deck, but, well, red-white Fireball Changeling doesn't seem very slow, so I guess maybe not. I'm just gonna lash out that, because I have two lash outs, and, why not? Ooh, Harrier. Well, I lose the flip. I think I'm gonna keep that on top. This way, if I somehow draw my, um, what's the name of that card? The green card I'm splashing for, I can cast it, which seems like a good thing. I would assume that they kept the Harrier on top. Yeah. That's a good card, so I can get that. Alright, so some sort of Keyskin deck, I would assume. Don't really want to lash out that thing, especially when they have a Harrier that I will have to deal with. Ooh, Changeling Hero, that's threatening. But, no, never mind. Eyeblight Ending doesn't deal with Hero at all. Let me read that card though. So if I... Yes, yeah, if they start to cast that on turn 5, and I actually kill the only target they have, they will have to sacrifice it. I'm attacking there because I'm not losing match. And they could take the damage fearing something. It's not very likely, but again, there's no real drawback by if I attack here. Alright. So, the play I would do most of the time is just play the Changeling and lash out the Harrier. Now, since my opponent could try to play the hero next turn, championing that, I kind of want to keep a removal around. And this way I can actually force them to sacrifice this. Otherwise I don't really have a good answer to it. So I think I'm gonna go with that line. I think I'm just gonna beat down with my two creatures, no reason not to. They are probably gonna block here, and yeah, hopefully they try to cast the hero next turn. That's the best case scenario. Because if they do, I actually get a 2-for-1, right? Yeah, because I kill one of their creature and they will have to sack the other one. And since I will use a removal during my turn, they might think that it's safe and that I don't have any other removal. Which one should I use though? Probably lash out on the Gold Meadow dude. Mountain, well that's not great. I'm gonna bottom that. So I lost my 2 clash so far. And my opponent put on bottom. Well, a spell, I think they could wanna keep that, I don't know. It's not a... Why? I mean, sure, it's not an amazing spell, but it's gonna still be better than any land, so I'm not sure I get that play. Seems weird to me. So hopefully they try to cast their hero there. That's the best case scenario. And I can destroy them with the ending. I guess they will attack first is a way. Yeah, that makes sense. And hopefully I can get my 2-for-1. Alright, sweet. Goodbye, hero. We playing those champion... Oh, they just conceded right away. Oh, so they had strictly nothing in hand? Alright. Well, I don't mind that. But if you are playing Lorwyn, be worried about casting those champion creature with only one creature on the board and your opponent potentially having a removal, because yeah, you can get blown back. So alright, so some white-red Keyskin deck. They seem pretty weak to, I mean, at least 2 of their creature dies to smoke, pepper smoke, so I'm probably gonna side this in, otherwise, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, that was pretty brutal. I assumed that my opponent only had like maybe 2 or 3 lands in hand, and that if this did not resolve, they, they ended up in very bad spot maybe. Again, the shaman, maybe it should just not have been in the main deck, maybe. This could be good. This looks interesting. My opponent played showed 3 changeling and 1 Kithkin and 2 Kithkin. Yeah, I think this should be good. This should be good. Note that I also get heat if I cast some of my shapeshifter. And I can cut something. The harasser seems decent in this matchup, honestly. Maybe Mannequin is not that great. It's a fine card, but it's really sweet with Pilferers. Other than that, it's probably not that amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. If my opponent has some sort of white-red, rather aggressive Kitkin deck, I think it's just the perfect matchup for me. Because I will always have more removal than them, I would assume, and my late game is gonna be better because of the card advantage. At least this is my hope, but maybe it will not be the case at all. Alright, drawing a swamp here was pretty solid. But this one is just looking very, very good in general. Mountain is certainly not what I needed, but whatever. Maybe it's a Harbinger? Yes, it is. Alright. They got the hero again. Pepper Smoke. Interesting one. And I do have the Changeling actually, so it's sweet. So a possibility would be to attack with that, then if they block I Pepper Smoke and pump. If they don't block, I kinda look like a fool. I think the better option is just to cast that, target itself, swing for 4, and use my Pepper Smoke and lash out next turn. Just seems like a better option. If my Changeling dies here, it's slightly annoying, but it's not so likely to happen. I don't know. Alright. Alright, so my album probably has some sort of trick here, right? Still gonna attack. If they block the Fire Belly Changeling, I'm gonna pump twice. They might just block here, though. Alright. If they have a removal here, I can kinda get 2 for 1. I think it's still the right move. They might very well not have anything. Yeah, I don't know. It's risky. It's definitely risky. Surge is actually... Yeah, it's fine. It's not the worst. It's really a removal that would have gotten me pretty badly here. Alright, they have another Surge, maybe. Oh, shield. Alright. So they had more tricks than me. But the really bad scenario was if my opponent had a removal, but here it's gonna be fine. So this time they are gonna get their hero. It's not the worst though. I think my my harasser can kind of deal with that, hopefully. And my opponent used a decent amount of cards already, so I don't feel too threatened by that thing, to be honest. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I think I have the answers there. Sure. Now they cannot attack. And, well, ending doesn't work, as I mentioned last game. But I have another harasser. And if they have a removal again, I can still block plus lash out. So, yeah. And hopefully, my best draw currently are my card advantage tools, which are my Pilfers and my Hoarder's Greed. So I just have to wait and try to draw them, and I should be good. I could attack. I don't think it's worth doing. Also, if I attack, it kind of indicates that I do have some sort of removal in hand, so I don't see any reason to do that. Alright, well, this is decent. I guess it will get lashed out, so it's fine. I can just block it with my Inner Flame Acolyte either way. So again, I'm drawing a fairly large amount of land. Hopefully my opponent also, you know, has some land in hand. Otherwise, we might be in trouble. I guess we'll see. So far, I've been drawing 9 lands and 6 spell, which is not the best ratio. I'm fine making that trade. I think Changeling, Fire Belly Changeling, I think is a better card than Acolyte, especially once the Acolyte has attacked. Alright, Nameless Inversion. Alright, that's pretty sweet. Don't think I will play my Mountain here. Don't think it's necessary. Good news is, if needed, I can Inversion the Changeling so I can ending it. It's not really what I want to do, but it's something I can do. I think I'm gonna Lash Out the Changeling. I think Lash Out is slightly worse than Inversion, so I'd rather use that. A Tar Pitcher, alright. I think this is gonna be better than average card in my deck. I did not win the... Alright, they kept the Tar Pitcher too, alright, fine. I did not win a single clash yet, right? Yeah, I mean, that card is not fantastic, but I think it's still better than, yeah, most cards in my deck, especially lands. I think you should keep most spells. So I guess I can sacrifice a Changeling, but that doesn't sound too great. Soulbright Flamekin. Well, sure, that's not like doing a whole lot, but whatever. I could have killed this with using 2 removal and start to attack. I don't think it's worth doing. I think this is a grindy match that I should win if it goes long, so I should just be careful about what I'm doing. Alright, sure, my opponent can do that. It's actually fine. Completely fine with me, especially now that I have the Inversion. It's, yeah, feel free to do that, basically. A Blind Spot Giant that's not gonna be able to do anything after I will have to kill that Changeling. Pretty clunky for them. Alright, sweet. And that was a good reason to just keep my things around. I lose 1 life here, which I guess is not... Oh, I can target. Actually, it's much better. I thought it was the player casting the spell that would lose. Sure, that's much better. Alright, so I guess I can champion something new now. So maybe they have another... they might have another hero? Oh, Brigid. Well, I do have the answer for that card, but it's a very good card, so... It's slightly threatening, I guess. Alright, another land. Not the best, but whatever. And they will lose 1 in the process of casting that spell. Let's say my opponent does have 3 lands in hand, which it seems like they do. That would be 10 lands and 10 lands here. So we would be even regarding the amount of lands drawn, I guess. I think I'm gonna wait to see if I can draw. You know, if I draw one of my Inversion or Lash Out, I'd rather use that than the Nameless Inversion that can kill bigger things. Well, I guess it's not the case. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Alright, let's continue the beatdown. I do have a slightly better board than my opponent, but not by a, by a large margin, so if they just top deck something, I'm gonna end up being in trouble. Ooh, Nath. Well, that's a good top deck. I could attack with everything, and then they go to 1, and they cannot cast any Kiskin spell anymore. If they have something, it's really bad, though. I think I'm gonna attack with everything. I think it's worth doing. If they have nothing, my opponent is pretty much gonna be losing no matter what, because they will not be able to cast any spell. I mean, not any, but they will not be able to cast many of their creature spells. And Because I would assume that, yeah, pretty much at least more than half of their creature are Keyskin or Changeling. But I think it should be game here. Even without Nath, I think I would have ended up in a good spot. And yeah, we did win. My opponent might have drawn even more land than me. They seem pretty flooded, but we got there, which is sweet. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the draft. I think this last round was less interesting than the first one, but you know, it was some nice game. And well, obviously round 2, not much happened, but I think round 1 was super interesting in many levels. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy and see you guys for another draft.